Noel Flasterstein is with us, who is not afraid to come on my program. He's done it many times in the past. He's a gun rights advocate and attorney, general counsel for the Second Amendment Club of America, Florida carry consulting attorney. If you're in Florida and you want help getting a permit to carry a concealed weapon, he's your guy. FloridaCarry.org is his website, along with gunrightsforyou.com. Noel, welcome back to the program.
Thanks for having me on.
Noel, I saw this is we passed this story along to you, and I wanted to get your take on it. Washington State, not Washington D.C., but the state of Washington on the West Coast. State Representative Matt Shea, Republican, Tea Party Republican, at a recent Tea Party rally said, and I quote, "We need to prepare for the inevitable collapse that's going to happen. You know what's going to happen. That's right. I am a politician, and I'm standing up here and saying, when it happens, we need to look at this as an opportunity, not a crisis. Whose job is liberty? That's our job." And then he went on to suggest that people, in order to prepare for their job, should be stockpiling ammo, practicing shooting, and learning defensive tactics. What percentage of the gun-owning public in America do you think subscribes to this kind of theology or perspective or belief or whatever you want to call it, Noel?
You know, I really couldn't give you the exact figures. I wouldn't even know where to base my analysis. But I will say this. I would say maybe 10 years ago, statements like this from Mr. Shea or Shea, am I saying it right?
Yeah, S-H-E-A. I'm assuming it's Shea. I don't actually know. So.
We must assume he's a good old Irish fella.
Yeah.
You would dismiss it. And when I first, heard about his comments and statements, my first inclination is to dismiss it. But I like to think of myself as a rational and reasonable person, and I know there are many of your listeners that would disagree with that comment or that self-evaluation. And I will say this. When he makes statements like he does or like he did, I no longer dismiss it simply as conspiracy theory, and I would say most gun-owning Americans, likewise, are starting to take what we once thought was crazy 10 years ago would not be considered crazy today. And I had a good friend once share me some ideas that 10 years ago would definitely be considered radical, and he even told me, Noel, if I told you this 10 years ago, I would tell you should have me locked up. But there are more and more people in the American public that I think are starting to take a look at what's going around. I mean, he made some outlandish comments, but
But Noel, this was
ammunition. You can't.
This was Tim McVeigh's shtick. This was David Koresh's shtick. That we have FEMA camps. This guy has said there are FEMA camps that are just waiting for you. Which presumably goes back through several administrations, is apparently a bipartisan conspiracy by our federal government. He proposed a bill to ban the U.S. dollar. It's like, this is spooky stuff. And when people get frightened that economic bad times are coming, and frankly, I believe economic bad times are coming. I think that, the crash of 2008, we only got halfway into it, and then they kind of wallpapered over the giant holes in the system, and it's going to come back and haunt us. But that doesn't mean that I'm loading up on AR-15s. It seems like, during the Great Depression, we didn't have people having shootouts outside of the bootleggers. People helped each other out.
You know what? You're right. And that would say, hey, FEMA has concentration camps, but I would also suggest to you, my God, I would have thought it crazy that the NSA was listening to my conversations, but that just came out. I mean,
okay, you got me.
How far removed is that from what he's saying?
I think they're very different things. I think the NSA listening in on my conversations is a good reason to get politically active and elect civil libertarians, whether they are libertarian, capital L, on the right, or whether they are civil libertarian progressives on the left, to elect people who are going to regulate, within the constraints of the Fourth Amendment, our intelligence agencies. I opened the show with the DEA now, it turns out, is doing this kind of stuff too, the Drug Enforcement Agency. And I'm with you on that. I know as a libertarian, you and I...
Agency, what keeps them in check? It's our ability.
Well, it should be Congress. Right? And I'm with you on that, but I don't think what keeps them in check is you and me and about 35 of our friends having a whole pile of guns.
What did Hitler do when he went to power? He made sure no one had any guns, so we wouldn't have any options.
No, Hitler actually didn't do that. Hitler sponsored gun clubs for young white Aryan youth.
Well, if you weren't an enemy of the Nazi Party, of course, but if you were a Jew or some other undesirable, your name was on the list, nicely put together by the Weimar Republic, as these people were law-abiding and following the law, and Hitler went straight to that list and de-armed.
It wasn't a list of gun owners, Noel. It was a list of Jews.
I do. We got the executive, which is the presidency. We have the legislative, which is the House and the Congress, the Senate. And then, of course, there's the judiciary, which are our courts. And then we have us, the people. And what gives us our checks and balances on the other three branches is our right to vote. But if our right to vote is ignored, as so succinctly acknowledged by Justice Kaczynski from the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeal, if it's ignored when our votes mean nothing,
then you think we have a right to shoot?
Which gives it any meaning, any right, any substance at all.
Then you think we have a right to shoot if our right to vote is ignored? Are you saying that we have a right to shoot if our right to vote is ignored?
I'm saying we have the right to protect ourselves and defend our Constitution.
Okay, who do we shoot at?
Usurped by the government.
Who do we shoot at?
Those who want to destroy it, those who are accepting freedoms,
for example,
following the rule of law. That's why I take a serious issue with the Southern Poverty Law Center calling Oath Keepers a militia group, saying a militia group is in contra to our government.
So who are those people who want to take away our liberties that we should be shooting at?
I'm not saying we should shoot anybody, but I am saying we have the right to a Second Amendment, as our founding fathers intended, to prevent a tyrannical government. And people will say, well, the crazy conspiracy theorists, you've got to protect yourself from the... You know what? We've already had a tyrannical government come to power here in the United States.
When?
Back in the Reconstruction South, if you were a black man, a black American, you couldn't own
we started out that way.
Tried that amendment.
Yeah, okay. All right. Noel Flasterstein, the website gunrightsforyou.com. Thanks, Noel.
Thanks a lot, Tom.